wrong person.
Yeah, and they were.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons.
Yeah, but you'd want to get your money back before just killing someone.
Yeah, but if some of these mobster types, you got 3 kids, we're going to put 2 of them down.
If you want to keep that other one.
Do they have any mobster connections?
I don't know. Said they heard the call. Said in the call she tells the dispatcher that she touched the knife. That was one of the big moments because they were like,
I do remember
and all
that,
this shit you're thinking about your fingerprints might be on the knife.
That does seem...
It does. I mean, but I don't know. Again, I would probably think about weird shit like that because I hyper-focus on details about certain things. If it gets like lodged in my head, I'm like fixated on that. I don't know.
I mean, if someone had broken in and they just tried to kill me and I'm chasing them and they drop the knife, I'm probably going to grab the knife and go
pick it up.
Them.
Yeah, I'm gonna, because I don't want them to get it again. Mm-hmm. I want to have control of it at this point. Mm-hmm. She said in the recording, she tells the dispatcher she touched the knife, the suspected murder weapon, and said, I wonder if we got prints on there maybe. I don't know. Then she said her husband ran downstairs, but she didn't ask about the infant. They said she was upset and screaming, but didn't appear to be in shock and seemed alert.
Does it say anything about... God, I wish I knew where these boys were. Does it say anything about, like, she knew the boys were dead when this guy attacked her and she went chasing after him? It said,
okay, one officer said he told her Damon was the one that was gasping for breath, right? The other one...
Was it the 6-year-old?
Yeah.
I can't remember what
it said. One officer said he told her to apply pressure on the stab wounds on Damon's back as he gasped for breath, but she didn't do it.
Fucking aunt.
Said, I thought if she was worried about fingerprints on a knife, she had the presence of mind to take care of her kids, was what he said. She said they didn't follow the paramedics when they carried Damon to the ambulance, didn't ask where they were taking him.
Oh, I'd been right there with my kid.
No shit. I'd have been in the ambulance.
Over and over, she said the man was wearing dark clothes and a baseball cap, attacked the boys, then her, and escaped through the garage. They didn't find blood in the garage window, or the fence surrounding the backyard. The window sills in the garage still had like dust layers. There was mulch in the flower beds between the garage and the back gate, and it wasn't messed up.
Okay, those are huge red flags.
There was...
Dust is going to get knocked off of the windowsill. The mulch is going to get messed up.
Are they saying... Or she saying that they
said
went
there was
through the
still
window?
Dust, yeah.
Okay.
Because the screen was slashed, and they said...
Okay, gotcha.
That's what where he jumped out of.
It said lab tests did find fingerprints on the window that did not belong to anyone at the scene.
They did or did not?
Did.
Okay.
So with their fingerprints, they can't identify that were on that window.
Okay.
She said she found the knife on the floor in the utility room, but the investigators didn't find blood splatter that would indicate that that's where the knife was dropped. There was blood.
Yeah, there would be blood. Bloody knife is dropped. There's going to be blood on the ground.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on how much time... Like, in between the stab and the,
blood dries really, or clots really quickly.
On the knife and stuff where it wouldn't splash.
But even landing on the ground...
You're gonna transfer.
I would think it'd still be tacky enough that it would...
Yeah, I mean...
Because that's when it starts to dry, it gets tacky like glue.
Yeah.
Said...
and even, you would think that he would probably have blood on his clothes or his hands, and there would be blood on the window screen or the ledge.
Like, how did he get so clean if he went out through those ways?
Especially in a rush.
Mm-hmm. I said there was blood found near the kitchen sink, but not...
Maybe because she was washing herself up.
Maybe. And said there was no appreciable amount, so that says there was some, but not a lot, on the couch where she'd been stabbed. There had been attempts to clean the countertop and sink before the police arrived. In 3 minutes?
That seems really quick.
Mm-hmm. Said a bloody sock was found in the grass several houses down. Her family said that was proof someone else killed the boys.
What was it? One of the boys' socks?
It doesn't say. It said, the defense said there's no way in the 3 minutes she could have gotten that far. Wow. There was a bloody fingerprint on the coffee table. Coffee table near her son's body.
Okay, so
they were down there.
Maybe they were all in there watching a movie and all
fell asleep. Yeah.
Why would somebody go after two little kids first
when there's
instead of an adult?
I don't understand that either. They said part of her I can't talk today. Part of her appeal centered on the fact of that print that was on the coffee table because it was not belonged to anybody in the family and it was an adult print.
And it was in blood?
Yeah.
So it was
made then, yeah.
Yeah.
They said they didn't take the kids' fingerprints, but it was an adult-sized print. In 2008, a federal judge granted additional testing of the sock, butcher knife, God damn, I can't talk, and the fibers from another knife. That's the first I've heard of another knife. Have you heard anything else about it?
Mm-mm.
And how would you get fibers from a knife?
I guess like if it went through clothing.
If it was a serrated
knife.
knife.
It might have grabbed on the cloth.
Yeah, it wouldn't even have to be serrated.
And gave them permission to run 4 fingerprints through a national database. That's the last update on that.
Now, I am not an investigator, but shouldn't that have been done before the first trial?
I would think so. Because APHIS, I don't know how. Was APHIS a thing then in 96?
I'm sure it was.
I don't know. It was
in 96.
Yeah, I don't think so.
In 96,
probably not.
They're
I mean, there wasn't even the ability to do the kind of DNA testing we had now. Mm-hmm. They had DNA testing, but it had to have a much larger sample.
I mean, I know people in the early 90s that had, like in Arkansas, had multiple DUIs because they didn't share information
between counties,
county to county, and shit like
and
that.
Now, I'd never heard anything about 2 knives. I know that.
Yeah, that's the first I've heard too.
I'm pretty sure I read that a knife, at least, was from the home.
Yeah.
But now, if they're talking about multiple ones, which knife was that?
I don't know. I'm going to read it again. Testing of the sock, a butcher knife, the fibers from another knife, and the permission for the 4 fingerprints to go through the national database.
So that happened in 2008. So
the appeal, yeah.
I'm sure that shit's already been done.
But I'm sure that they haven't had the
12 years later.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, you're not going to tell me that that's still
sure
sitting in the queue 12 years later.
It's done, but have they gotten to the point where they can appeal and get a new trial on it? I don't know.
Well, no, I was just wondering what the results were.
It doesn't say. I'm sure they're holding that.
Oh, fucking dicks. That's kind of important information.
That's important information.
Did they say... They said he escaped through the garage. Is that also how he came in?
She didn't know that. She said she saw him go out through the garage.
Because if he went out through the garage, the screen was cut. So it had to have been cut with a bloody knife. But she said she had the knife.
Unless that's the way he got in.
Yeah.
Then they said the silly string video that we've already talked about, that was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Said they had a graveside party for Devin on what would have been his 7th birthday. They sprayed silly string on the grave and sang happy birthday.
You know what? I mean, that seems a little bit weird, personally. But
it does, but it was only like a week after he died. It was, I mean, they had been, waiting for this birthday. And
probably had it planned.
I can go back and forth on this, but I tell you what, the dust on the windowsill and stuff not being messed up outside of it, and no blood in the garage where this knife was dropped.
There's just stuff I can't make a call on this one.
Showing that there had been signs of the sink and counter.
Yeah, that bothers me real bad.
There's a lot of
because that makes me think there was a time between the call and the attack. Because if they got there in 3 minutes, she didn't have time for all that.
Mm-mm.
So that
and she didn't have time to run down to the neighbor's house and throw a bloody sock out either.
So that makes me wonder
if she had time to clean up and go throw a bloody sock and then call the police.
Which that's even more damning. If she did delay. They said that one kid was still gasping when they got there. So if she did delay, whoo, that can't be ignored. You know, I can't make a call on what I think about this one. I can go either way because there are things for me that don't add up on both sides.
I think that's why that kid's really pushing for what the people in court saw, because I mean, you know, they don't give us all the evidence,
right, and
there's a lot of gaps.
They do give us all the evidence is available after the trial. Yeah, it's public record.
He is trying to get
exactly what they saw.
Yeah, that's public record though. Freedom of Information Act should be able to.
I don't think so though. When there's appeals and stuff. There are appeals pending.
Oh, okay.
That changes everything because it's not over and done with.
Now it's for lack of a better term, an ongoing investigation.
Right, and it's like, you know, it's sensitive because there's still legal litigation bearing.
Right.
So you can't just put it all out there.
Yeah, this story was published January 22nd, 2020. And it says, as Darlie Reuter waits on death row, hoping that retesting of forensic evidence proves. So, I mean, they're still in the process of testing stuff.
If she got approval in 2008, you are not going to tell me that 12 years later they're still waiting on fucking testing.
And the boys even said, I don't care about the stuff that they're testing. He wants to see pictures. Because the pictures that you see online, he said, they're usually in like collage. The quality
so you
is
can't
not
get
good.
the detail and stuff.
He wants to see crime scene photos, where everything was, detailed photos.
Has anybody asked him why he wants to see that?
Because
true crime's what he does.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like 16. He's already graduated high school. He's in college.
And he's a true crime buff. He wants to be an investigator. They said the emergency room doctor testified that the mother seemed emotionless when she was getting tended to. She had wounds in her neck, shoulder, and forearm. But the nurse said she was emotional, crying, sobbing, talking about her family. And here's an interesting thing.
See, that crap like that is so...
I mean, shock. When you're in shock, you can be like...
Well, and it's like... What you think, it's like what you think she should have been doing compared to what he thinks she should have been doing. Yeah. You know, I mean, come on.
And apparently, the investigators, the detective, they knew that birthday party was going to happen at the graves. So they planted microphones, hoping that she or the husband would say something damning. And they didn't get anything.
That's reasonable. For them to plant the microphones.
Yeah. They said they didn't get approval to do it.
Oh.
So that was like a big thing. There was an FBI investigation on it over that because they didn't get a warrant to do it.
Right. So they violated their Fourth Amendment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't in their home or anything.
But a gravesite is private property.
And you would have a reasonable expectation
because the property that you buy the gravesite from is private to begin with, and then you own that little square. So they actually needed a search warrant.
Yeah.
Or a
I'm sorry. The
warrant.
boy has taken classes at the University of Tulsa, and he plans to attend University of Texas in the fall.
Okay.
He wants to get into law school.
Oh, get this. After the trial, one of her attorneys found errors in the transcript.
Oh, really?
The trial transcript?
The trial transcript. That's a big deal.
That's no joke, because that's official record.
Yeah. And they said that they felt like...
that's one of those that you don't get to make a mistake.
They said... following the trial, one of Routier's attorneys found errors in the transcript, which was needed for an appeal. They were going over it to prepare their appeal. Said court reporter Sandra Halsey refused to answer questions, and a state district judge ordered a review. There was a complaint filed in 1999 with the state board alleging that her work was incompetent, inaccurate, unprofessional, and untimely, and she lied to hide her mistakes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
She was ordered to pay $32,265 for the cost of getting the transcript fixed, and her license was revoked.
Huh.
Oh, you know what though? That's on her. That's
but I'm saying there must have been some pretty serious glaring areas.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
I mean, that's not a punctuation.
Oh my God.